Yeah, do you follow Little Red Danger on Facebook or anything?
I don't know who that is.
It's just some chick. I don't even know who she is either, but she posted those bud sales today, earlier today, and it seemed like the sales weren't going to start until like a certain time. It was like I forget when
Yeah,
I looked at it, but it was 3 hours had passed,
yeah, like
and
we're
they
like,
they listed the shotgun, the Canic, and I forget what else. The lower, I guess.
yeah, Ralph put a link in last night to it, and we saw them at one point or another last night in one of the chats. I think it was before the good guy chat, and I saw that and I thought they were fair deals, but definitely. But for me to get them and have them shipped and with everything, some of them weren't going to work out. They're still good deals, but I would think more if you're in the immediate area. But like I said, Mule did that shit. We were talking about the off air. I know you weren't live. Talking about off area, and his rant was that he tried to process out for almost 3 hours, where he kept kicking him out. And by the time he got in contact with customer service, they're like, well, not only do you have multiple orders, you have many multiple orders that we already have, that we can view. Like, well, just cancel all the old and they cancel the repetitive orders, and obviously the first ones, the first three, process those, and he went back and forth and get anywhere with them, so he didn't get the opportunity to take advantage of those sales. The $50, $100 Canic, the $50 shotgun, the $50 lower, I believe. And so he did a big rant on it today. He went off. And I've heard Yankees say bad things about some other practices that Butts Guns have. Butts Guns has. I've never bought a gun from them. I've seen some outstanding deals though from them. I've just never really dealt with them before. I've done them. I've purchased off Guns America, or through their process. I've never done Gun Broker yet. Came close. But no, I mean, I don't know. I don't have an experience with them, but I hear a lot of negative ones.
Way back in the day when I used to look for guns on Bud's Gun Shop. I noticed that like if someone gave a gun a bad review or gave Buds a bad review, that like a bunch of Buds guys would come out and start trolling you in the comments section.
I
Like
heard
right
that.
under the gun, you can
Yeah, yeah. Now I remember that now. People talking about that they would go out and talk shit like, "Oh, you're just a lazy person" or some crap like that.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know. There's some times where they have those Smith and Wessons, those 38 specials that look like good deals, like old police trade-ins and shit. That I want to jump on for like 300,
Yeah.
350. I see those on occasion. Those look interesting.
Yeah, they get a lot of Glock trade-ins too, right?
Everybody does. I mean, the
Oh,
22s are just flooding the market right now. Uh,
yeah, well, I have one store in particular around here that always gets them in. I mean, I can count on G22s, but every once in a while he'll get 17s and 19s. They'll sell quick.
I still want a 19 for a collection. If I got a 19, I think I'd be good until something struck my fancy to get something else. But if they come with that single stack 9 millimeter, I know a lot of people are John about that one. I don't I don't have a need for it. I mean, I like my 26. The 19 is just to have one because I like it. It's a great gun as well. I've shot it, but I would like to have for the collection. But I don't see myself having to go down to a single stack. Where I don't know. I remember at one time and also said I never thought I'd have a need for a musket either. But once I shot one, I did like it.
Yeah, I don't really want a single stack 9 either, but I'm thinking about a 380. I don't know if it's going to be the Glock because just
Price.
problems. No, the problems that it had coming out the gate. But
That's what's funny. My buddy Murphy, he has the original one that hit the market. He bought it as quick as they came out, um, and he hasn't had one single issue with it. Not even a failure to feed, failure to fire, anything. And we weren't firing great ammo. We were firing Monarch steel case, which is Glock can eat steel case pretty much all day. But if you wanted to sit there and throw in the brass factory, oh, you're shooting brass. And then Tony had issues with it, and some other people. And I don't know if it was the grip from where they were gripping it, kind of. Because I mean, the polymer is solid, but I don't know if it's some people that's got some big hands that could affect the polymer on that smaller receiver. Because they did make mods to the guts.
Yeah. I mean, I know exactly which one's the new one and the most updated parts and stuff, but you go into a gun store, you gotta look for that. Because some people are still getting, like, old stock. So you never know.
You're talking about Google Plus again. Is something happened to Google Plus I don't know about today? Some other conundrum or bullshit?
I don't know. Pay attention. Let's see.
Classic Firearms did a video about the TP9. I thought they were trying to promote it, and as obviously they were promoting for the channel, but I don't know if they're promoting for the Black Friday. So I'll watch that video real quick.
I wonder if they had their $99 Mosin sale.
You know who had one locally? Gander Mountain had them for $149 today, which I don't like Mosins more than $100, but I'm stuck in my ways of remembering what they were like. Now I'm gonna bite the hook of buying one, over. But $150 is my top dollar. I should have probably went and picked one of those up today. It was the longer with the 9030 was it? What's the longer model? The full size barrel.
9130.
Yeah, 9130. Okay, that's what they had for $150.
Yeah, they have them here now for $159. Classic Firearms. Not bad.
Dude, my buddy he bought a gun. Oh my God, he showed me a picture. I stopped by because he works at my old shop that I used to work at. Got my old job, and I was talking to him, and he goes, "Hey, you got a gun I bought?" And he had a picture. He had that SIG. He saw it at that Texas International Firearms Festival, because it's called. I thought it looked like the Spartan SIG Sauer 1911, but it's this one called the Emperor, where it has black grips on it that have the older SIG label on, or just a SIG, and has that rustic, what's the color? Rustic bronze finish on it with the rail. Fucking sweet. You got that sucker for $915 delivered. You got a really good deal on it, because those guns I think go for well around $1,200. And he was mentioning some story that the guy that he got it shipped to at the FFL was telling him that he's in pretty good with SIG with their rep and their people, and they were telling him that they were supposedly, for what it's worth, the way people perceive it, because I know people don't have a high. Some people don't have a high opinion of Kimber. Some people do. That SIG has been really tucking at Kimber's people and getting their top gunsmiths to go work for SIG now for the 1911 project. And I was like, well, I guess that's good in some aspects, because they do make good guns, but I just hear a lot of people complain about them too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know much about the SIG 1911s, but they look cool.
I'd love to get one. That's one of the ones. Again, there's probably about at least 5 1911s I know that I want to add to my collection, but definitely one is the STX from SIG, and that Emperor looks fucking nice. I'm not really sold on the rail, but I'd like to have one 1911 with the rail put on it. I'd like to have one just one just set up for it already. I got those grips. You know, I did a test from Recover.
Recover Tactical.
Yeah, Recover. Yeah, I got them, and they're sending me a set for the Beretta to test out. Beretta 92 FS. So I gotta borrow my I gotta borrow one of my buddy's guns video to do that video. And they were saying that supposed to be that, or they list that if you have an Italian model, which he does, you're gonna have to fit the grips because I guess there's some differences within the frame of the receiver setup between an Italian and a American-made 92 FS. I don't have a lot of experience with Beretta, but other than having a hard on them further when I was a 17-year-old.
Yeah, they've come down in price a little bit since I last was looking at them. They were like $600 on average. Now I can get one for like $529.
I saw a stainless that the bid was going for $350 today. It was used. The pictures weren't great, but I know with stainless you can clean them up, and it was $350 last time I saw it. I have to go check Gunbroker, see where it's at. It wasn't on a bad price. It was only a $15 shipping too.
Yeah, I don't have a 1911, and my first 1911 was going to be that Colt railgun, but I got to find one for around $1,000, a black, just the black one. I think the rail looks kind of goofy on the stainless version. But they have 3 different models, I think. One's like a gray, like a battleship gray. One's, well, they have the I don't know if it's the same exact model, but they have that marine one that's all desert tan that has a rail. But the Colt railgun in black, that's what I'm going for.
That's nice.
That's not till next year.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole bunch. Once everything gets settled with my wife in about a year or so, but her getting employed and getting her career started, I'm hoping to be able to have some disposable income to have some fun with. Let's see here. Fine, what's up, County?
I like that cap that I put in the external there. I'll put it.
Okay.
People talk shit about them thumbhole stocks, but I think they look pretty cool. They're not uncomfortable. They're not totally uncomfortable. Not the ones like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've held one or two at the gun show. I don't have a problem with them. I think just more the traditionalists don't you know. But then again, any traditionalist wouldn't put a red dot on AK either. So.
Yeah, that's a 308 semi-auto for $499. Zastava. Not bad.
Yeah, actually, that looked like a good deal.
What's up, Bob?
Not much.
The Bubbo. Bubberino.
Just had to spend like an hour and a half running my snowblower around my house to get the sidewalks cleared and the driveways. Sucks, man. I hate snow.
How much you got up there?
Not that much, but just was kind of all day, so you kind of have to wait for it to stop before you go and clean the sidewalks, because otherwise they'll just be covered up again. So I don't know, maybe half a foot.
Nah, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, it was drifting though. That was a problem too. Like sometimes the snowblower was just like taking bites out of it, and then it all fall down on top of the snowblower, and fuck.
Wow, they got the HK VP9 9mm for $5.99 on CDNN.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pistol goes for a lot more than that usually.
Huh.
Striker fired.
Yeah. I just want to find a cheap 9mm. Ideally, I'd like to get one of those Ruger single six. I think they're not single six, Ruger single actions, but they were 357, 38, and then they had the 9mm cylinder came with it. That'd be fucking just the bomb, man. I got my cowboy gun and my backup to the 9mm.
And I got my haircut today. See here.
I gotta actually do a video and kind of show off my 9, don't I? My Browning. What was the bet on that one before I said high power?
Hmm.
Is there any topics tonight, or is it just kind of?
Nah, we're just shooting grenade.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Yeah, I went out, bought some ammo. There's some good ammo deals today. Bought some ammo cans as well. They had them pretty much half off because usually run about $20 around here on average. You know, for a 50 cal ammo can, so they're $10, brand new, never issued.
That's all right.
Yeah, I've seen them beat up and issued with decent seals for $20. Like fucking Top Brass. I like to shop at Top Brass Military, but I've seen there and they're like, yeah, you know, just put some navel jelly on that rust spot, son. It'll come right out.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know, man.
I'll just bite you. Got Mika, but Mika can't say anything. Got Mika there. From Norway.
From Finland.
Finland, I'm sorry.
Damn it! Don't insult the man.
By the way, Bob, you know the Wrangler Star,
You know which?
the YouTube channel Wrangler Star.
Run a
That guy who is doing some woodworking.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I watched one of his question and answer YouTube video, and there was some guy. It was Bob from Canada, and was asking why you are doing that timber work yourself. Why do you don't buy those things from the hardware store?
Mm-hmm.
I think that questions was from you.
Could have been, yeah. I've sent him a few questions. Good dude. He always answers. I like that. Yeah, I like watching him. He does some neat stuff.
Yes, and I think that if I would be a rich man, I would buy that chainsaw, that show which he wants to have, and write my address to that chainsaw and send to him to get 1 yard of his yellow or whatever he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's a nice guy, but he's too he's too
Religious?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I find that too. I'm like myself, I'm an atheist, but I don't mind if you're religious because he's not really trying to push it down your throat. So yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yes.
And like I say, I mean, he's truly is trying to be a real homesteader, and he's doing a damn good job at it, and he's got some real talent. Like his
Yes.
axe handles are gorgeous. I couldn't fucking carve an axe handle for love nor money.
Mm. And his wife is Swedish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Sweden is next country from us.
Ah.
Still alive? You're still alive?
Yeah, we're still alive.
All right.
Does we are.
My computer restarted. Out of nowhere.
That's what Canada, Finland, Texas. Where are you from again, Moon?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. So yeah, we kind of covered the states, and we got Europe and Canada. Just got to get somebody from Australia. Hi, mates.
How many rounds you put through your high power yet?
Uh, I think I'm at 200.
All right.
I think I'd have to count the empty boxes, but I think it's around 200. I just got 1,000 rounds of a steel case came in.
Robbie in the chat was asking. Steel case. It should like that.
It's a high power.
Belgium.
I mean, it'll eat anything. Yeah. And that's just, that's the stuff I put. Edge was talking about those ammo cans. I find there's these plastic, they're first aid cans, eh? But they got a really good rubber seal on them. They got like 6 latches on them, like snap down latches, so they get a really good seal. And they're cheap. They're like way cheaper than an ammo can. Of course, they're only plastic, but still keeps all the moisture out.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at how well rounds will actually survive. I mean, I had some in my damp old basement for like 20 years. Took them out and they all fired.
I shot some green ass looking ammo before.
Mhm.
I didn't really care. I didn't really
Mostly
know
shoot
better back then.
Chester white box because it's cheap and light recoil. I got my zombie max for in case the zombies show up, man. But yeah, mostly it's just like full metal jacket, so that's why I don't have a feeding problem probably.
So my stepdad passed away. My mom gave me all of his gun accessories.
Oh yeah.
And it was all a bunch of Glock accessories, and I didn't have a Glock at the time. So I ended up selling the mags, but the mags were filled with ammo.
Oh yeah.
I had like a few hundred rounds of this corroded-looking green, tarnished ammo that I took to the range and shot one day.
Did it all work?
Yeah, it all worked. There was some of it sparked a lot.
Yeah.
Looked like sparks were flying out of the barrel and shit.
Well, that's like some of those rounds I had were my dad's, and he'd had them for I don't know how long, because they were hand loads yet. I still put them through a semi-automatic, and it just worked fine.
Yeah, I think I shot him through a Walther P99.
Yeah, well, a good quality gun does tend to handle most ammo. I mean, it's part of why you pay the extra money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just can't figure out what to get for a backup. Or I want 2 9mm just because I always like to have 2 every caliber, eh?
You have to have a certain barrel length, right? What can't you? Can
I
you
think
get a Glock 19?
It can't be less than 4 1/8 of an inch.
Oh shit.
Unless you owned one before they made that law. If you owned a short-barreled revolver before that law, they gave you a special license.
Exemption.
Yeah, an exemption. Then if you wanted to buy short-barreled ones, you still could. It was like a prohibited special license. It's for people who had like snubbies and stuff. They wouldn't have to just get rid of them. Of course, when they die, if there's not somebody else with one of those prohib, which they don't issue unless you had it before they changed the laws. So I mean, eventually those people are all going to die, and all those short-barreled shit's going to get destroyed. Sucks.
How much of the Smith & Wesson TR8's up there?
I don't know. I've never even looked at one.
It's like a tactical revolver with rails on it.
Oh yeah. Haven't seen one.
But they have the TRR8, which you can remove the rails. I think that's the difference. Yeah, it's pretty badass. 8-shot, 357.
Oh yeah. Well, that was my original idea. Was I was going to get a revolver, right? But then this Browning just like jumped out of the gun case and said, "Buy me." And I always wanted one, so it was like, "Oh fuck it." As much money as I wanted to spend.
How, Bob? How is that you get permission to buy one gun? Or
Oh no! Like once I got permission, I can buy as many handguns as I want. Once I got the license, you just have to take a test.
yes. And now, when you get the permission, the first gun was buying that high power.
Yeah.
And
from now on, I just go to the gun store and just say I want that one, and they give it to me, and the paperwork goes automatically through. So.
okay. And the next gun, is there any paperwork before do you need any license or?
No, well, I mean just the one I have. I have one license. That's the one that works for all handguns. So
Oh.
basically, once you've got the license, you can own as many as you want.
Oh. And those are registered guns.
Yeah, the handguns are registered. The government knows about every handgun you own.
Yes, but you do not have to ask for permission to buy next gun. You just
No.
buy the gun and those are registered.
Yep, it goes through automatically, and then they send you the paperwork.
Yes.
And it's kind of nice in my province. Once I have the paperwork that says, I can transport it to a gun range, I can transport it to any gun range in my province and to any border crossing without having to get any extra paperwork.
What do you mean transfer to?
Transport, like carry it to, if I'm going to the gun range. It used to be that every time you went to the gun range, you had to get permission.
Oh.
and yeah, that didn't work out so well, eh? So they realized that won't work. So then they changed that to this, where you can just get your permission once and you're good to go to the gun range with your handgun whenever you want.
Okay.
Yeah, when they first brought in their new laws, they didn't think much. Like it was
yes. If you're a competitive shooter, you have to go to different ranges to shoot if you want to compete.
Yep.
And get the permission to.
Yeah, and here we don't have to. Once we get the one permit, we're good. Just a permit to transport handguns to a gun range.
Okay. At here, we do not need any permit to transform.
Yeah, see, that's nice. That's the way it should be. I mean, it's kind of stupid. I mean, they automatically issue it, so it's, as soon as you buy the handgun and they go, okay, you have to belong to a gun club. Okay, I belong to this one. Okay, there you go. There's your permit. Now you can transport it to any gun club. It's just like needless paperwork.
Yes, and here at Europe, you can take your gun and go any European country, and also we can go to United States, and because there are those shooting competitions.
Yeah, we can transport to the United States. We have to get paperwork from the United States, but.
And the stupid part about some of those laws is that my experience shooting firearms, especially carbines and pistols, what do you want to call them, is rifles. Guns are designed to be rifles, but they make them into pistols, like ARs and MP5s and whatnot. They make it into pistols. Is I can shoot a handgun decent. I can hit center mass pretty good. But if I really wanted to go, like when we were shooting that last video, like it's popper targets. There's 3 targets, and about 3 inches apart from each other, if that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And we were shooting from about 20 feet away. I was trying my Glock 26, and I was hitting them, but again, I wasn't hitting them as good as I'd want to, as good as I was trying to. And then I picked up the MP5 or the POF9 MP5 clone that Murphy had, same distance, and I'm there, bing, 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 because I had a much, shoulders behind it. My line of sight was better. Those little carbines and everything just, and yeah, it was I was hitting every shot, missing on like one out of like 3 maybe, or 1 out of 4, instead of like one after another with the handgun. And I got better as I was improving. I was working at it, but still, I mean, I was like trying to make the video, make it look nice. I was there, yeah, I'm gonna use this carbine, and boom, or it's a pistol technically, but we were fucking bam, 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 9mm, and it's like wow. And in Canada, there are people shooting. They can buy more rifles than they do pistols. It's even though I understand that crime doesn't represent the people, because people really don't use rifles that much. But when they do, at least the last time, the guy in Parliament, didn't he have a rifle?
Yeah,
Parliament shooter.
Action, Winchester.
Yep. And the other guy was killing the cops down there.
It's Canada, though.
Yeah.
You know what? The sad thing is, I think the guy who shot those cops on the East Coast, he was using a SVT-40, it looked like.
What do you want at your desk?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. No, he was, the guy who shot up Parliament used a Winchester lever action, and the guy that shot them in on the East Coast.
Funny you mentioned lever action. I'm going to totally switch directions, but this morning, when I turned on the TV, I forget what channel it was, but there was an infomercial, like a whole, I don't know how long it was, but it was for Henry rifles. Never seen anything like that before on TV. They were showing every different kind of Henry lever action, 44, 357, 22, all the different commemorative ones that they make.
Yeah, they make some neat rifles. I mean,
bunch of testimonials and all this stuff. It was like an infomercial.
Yeah.
But for guns.
Yeah,
We
but
don't
for
usually
guns,
have
that's
that.
unusual. I haven't seen one of those.
Yeah. Just thought I'd mention that because
That's kind of neat.
it's gun related.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my point I was trying to say is that through all that, I mean, maybe they can, with their statistics, and say, well, obviously we've impacted our country as far as handguns being used in violent crimes or whatnot. But at the same time, any incident you have had has also been with a rifle, which is much more deadlier in my opinion.
Yeah.
No, we have. They don't talk about the handgun in Toronto and places like that. They have handgun murders like once a week.
There was a vet here. I don't remember where it was. Somewhere in the south. There, he got pulled over, and the cops like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get your hands out of there! And he ends up pulling like was it a grand? Did he have a grand? He had something. Yeah, he had some kind of rifle. It was definitely semi-auto. And the cop started shooting at him towards after about at least 30 seconds of warning him, just stop it and get your hands out of there. Guy pulls out his rifle, and it's this cop with the Glock 22 versus this guy with a rifle, semi-auto rifle, and he's just there, and he ends up killing him. And you hear the guy screaming to death, and this guy shooting him. He's screaming like a 3-year-old, and but he's getting murdered, mind you. So, so I go there, I'm not going to judge him for that. But yeah, he got gunned down hard, and the guy just had a rifle, had a semi-auto rifle, and it was this crazy vet who ended up doing it, and ends up taking off. And it's just one of those vets that already had in his mind that he was the government was against him, and he wasn't going to have any of it anymore, and he made his stand there.
So the guy with a rifle killed the cop?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is the cops wear soft body armor, and a rifle will go right through that like nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I think it was a 30-06. If it was a grand, I think it was a grand.
Could be. Yeah.
And it's silly that in here at Finland we can get almost any long arm. So I have 15 long arms. I have shotguns and rifles. You can there is no limit of the round. You get permission if you want.
Yeah.
With any kind of self-loading or how.
Mm-hmm.
But for handguns, there was one school shooting, and the guy was shooting with 22 LR, and after that there was that permission.
Put a link in the
Two
internal.
2 years waiting time for the handgun, but I can buy so powerful rifle that I can do very bad things. There is no logic behind.
Well, especially when you can get rifles that break down and fit in a backpack and stuff, for shotguns that do that, you know. And, you know, it's like, okay, well, concealability is no longer just the issue. Now you're just talking you don't like it because it's a handgun, right? Because you can conceal a rifle quite ably today, especially because everybody carries backpacks.
Mm.
Yeah,
But
so cool.
I can shoot from 200 or 300 meters.
Oh yeah.
Somebody, or if I want to shoot a mass of people, I can get to one tower and get my guns and thousands of rounds. There's if you are crazy and you want to kill people, you can do that, and it's very easy with rifles.
It's easy with a car. I mean,
there is no point to that handgun ban, but the rules are what they are, and I have spent 2+ years in the range and get the signatures to my shooting book that now I'm safe guy, and I can buy my first handguns.
Yeah, right. See, at least I only had to write the test and then join a club. A club had to have a handgun range, which every shooting club does, except for the shotgun ones. But gun laws are stupid, but you know, you got to live with what you got in your country. I mean, can't all immigrate. I suppose I could now. I'm retired. I should retire to Arizona. I could buy a house right next to Chris.
That would be very sweet.
Yeah. We could have a TV show, Bad Neighbors.
And then I will be visiting you.
Cops scream like a lady.
Yeah, you got. Well, I mean, he dropped his load. He dumped his mag at him and wasn't doing a very good job, and then he waited. Then he reloads and goes back at him.
I'll be right back. I gotta grab a beer before I watch this Vietnam vet shooting, police officer shooting.
See the one with the AK-47, where the guy just pops out with the AK and starts unloading into the windshield.
Nah,
Cops drop him though. I think
This
it's a
dude got
female
hit a
cop.
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see some comments of these motherfuckers dodging bullets. What the fuck?
I know, he's like ducking. He ducks and then the back window breaks, or his door window breaks.
Yeah, he did get hit a couple of times. I think at least once in the gut. But I mean, that dude also, he's just there fucking blah 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 blah. He could have gone up and tased his ass, got him on the ground, done something. Just there talking and talking. he had a rifle that was semi-auto, obviously, because he started really just gunning him down the second burst. That's when he pinned him down with it.
It's one of the first guns which I'm gonna buy is 1911 clone, and I'm thinking about STI Spartan or Trojan. Do you know about those?
Yeah, the Spartan, if I remember, is it's a Philippine-made gun to their specs. It's really good. Has good reviews. Much more detail goes into it. I haven't seen anybody dog it. But the Trojan is straight STI. That comes out of George West, Texas, at their facility that they make the guns there. That's American-made. The Trojan. That's why the difference between $700 at the Spartan and the Trojan costs almost, I think, $1,000.
Yes, those are Trojan is about twice as much as Spartan. Yeah. And I was thinking, I look at their homepage, and they are saying that Spartan is good and Trojan is good, and then there are even more expensive guns. But what is the big difference? And you say that Trojan is local made and Spartan is not.
Yeah, I mean it goes into it's what you're gonna get. I've heard people you heard of stores, people buying Ed Brown and Dan West and some of these other guns that they've had some problems with and had struggle with them. I've never owned an STI, but I heard nothing but good things about them. So I wouldn't hesitate buying one. But at the price market, like if you got money to spend, if you can afford the best, then I would definitely buy an STI. But at the same price point, right now, you can get a SIG 1911, some really nice 1911s, starting around $800 mark, even $750, $800 mark, going into like $1,000. But that really, when you go feature for feature, and you're not buying a cheap gun either. You're not buying like an inexpensive make gun.
No, you have to understand that the price at here are double what you are paying.
Oh, okay.
So and there are those taxes, etc. So a few $100 difference is nothing at here, because they are the prices are so close. So I mean that some cheap gun at your place, and some gun which is costing something twice as a cheap gun. They are similar price here, because the taxes and etc. So there, if you are speaking that the difference is few $100, few $100.
I'd buy the Trojan.
At here, they are at the same price.
I'd buy the Trojan if I was looking at the two, and those are the two you're exactly kind of bouncing between. I'd buy the Trojan because it is American built. The only thing is, I don't know if you get to exercise the warranty, and that's the only unfortunate part about where you're at, because they're made in George West, Texas.
Yes. So. Those warranty things, those are worldwide. And there are one local shop, and it's family. The owners are the father and the boy, and the boy has been at the States and competitors, and he's very successful.
Well,
they have a deal with STI, and they are doing some custom jobs to.
Well, that sounds good. Well, the other thing I was going to mention, you look at the other, half full, half empty. Is also when you're buying, they have an inexpensive production gun that they're making, from the Philippines, which should work just fine because typically the most 1911s, hopefully you don't. I had one problem with the one that I did the video on, where the throat of the barrel wasn't cut properly, or the angle of the magazine well wasn't cut right either, and they fixed that. But here's the thing: is when you're buying, also when you're getting some of these it's more of a handmade process, so to speak. There's more hands-on involved process and eye to detail when you're buying the American-made, Texas-made, Trojan. Then you would think hopefully you would have a lesser possibility to have an issue with that firearm altogether. So that speaks volumes within itself of securing that purchase.
Yes, I think that you are right. And this company, the son of the owner of this company he's doing that hand working. He's changing the parts of the gun, and he's building those guns, and he's good shooter at the competition. So he has some name, and he's building those guns, and he's putting his name for those guns. So I think
that's a gun that's on my 1911 list of the multiple 1911s that I want to own. That is one gun as well. Not the Trojan exactly, but there's another model called the Edge that they have, and then there's several that they have that are freaking awesome that I love to own. Once I got the kind of money to be able to throw down on a gun like that.
Yes, I think that I will buy maybe one or two 1911, and I want one gun who is working, that I do not have to do anything about that gun, that I can take that gun and go to the races and competitions and shoot.
Well, they can be buggy, but that's when you're paying, like you said, when you're paying that bigger price for that company. It's when having more hands on the gun instead of assembling them. Because I think the way that the Spartan model works is all the parts are made in the Philippines, but they're assembled here in the United States or something like that. I forget what the procedure is on it. So the quality control key, I think, is going to be a little different than what they can do out there.
One thing people got to remember too when they're paying for modern, like hand fitted and everything 1911s nowadays, is that CNC machinery removed about 98% of the differences between manufactured guns and hand-fit guns. That's just the reality. A lot of people will be like, no, that's not true. But yeah, that is true. Used to be your milling machines. Look at Colt back in the 90s. Colt was using old-style milling machines. They don't do the greatest job of fitting. They do a combat-level job of fitting.
Sure.
They switched over to modern CNC machinery in the late 1990s, early 2000s, and now their guns are tight as fuck, tight as any gun you hand fit. So it's if you get one that's tightly fit.
Mm-hmm. Well, but I think
they
that's
actually eased off their tolerances a little bit because they found that they were getting them too tight, and people weren't liking them too tight because you got to work them in just like you do a custom gun. So they decided to ease it up a little bit. But modern CNC machinery, when you're talking about machines that can manufacture every single piece to the exact same standards, where the variances is measured in microns and partial microns, then the benefits of hand fitting are very small nowadays, if they're at all.
I've seen that with I think it's one of some of the Philippine guns, even though not the most expensive ones out there, you're seeing a lot of uniform. At least the production was more uniformed because of that. And I don't think they're using old style milling machines anymore versus the CNC, and that's why they're able to get their stuff a lot tighter. But I think
some companies. I mean, there's a lot of companies that that are like clones of other companies, and the reason they're clones is because they bought the old machinery from the other companies. like what you call them, Stover. A lot of use a lot of the old machinery that they bought from etc. So there are still companies out there making, with traditional old style milling techniques and making decent guns. But if you want that, people who buy a hand fitted gun, I mean, they don't even want to be able to slide a piece of paper between the slide and the frame.
Mm-hmm.
And with modern CNC machinery, you can do that on a production gun if you choose to. Now, a lot of times they won't, like I said, because people that buy like an Ed Brown, or I had a Les Baer one time that was so stiff when I first got it, that was so tightly fit that when you pulled it back, you had to nudge it back forward. But it was so tight. And then they'll tell you when you call them, it's hand fit to be as tight as a motherfucker, racket. If you really want to, put a little bit of lapping compound in there and racket. But people who buy a custom gun, they expect that. They're like, this thing has been fit tight as balls, so it's going to have to wear in a little bit. But people who buy like a gun off the shelf, they don't expect that. So a lot of times manufacturers could make their guns that tight with CNC machine, but they don't because it doesn't satisfy the majority of their customer base.
So when you were at SHOT Show, did you approach Les Baer and give him a hard time about it?
No, I mean, I expected that from the gun. The gun was supposed to be that tight. You're supposed to take it out and put 500 rounds in it.
I'm fucking with you. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but they recommend you sit the first night, and he'll even tell you, sit the very first night and rack that thing 1,000 times if you can. Just sit, just rack.
Yeah, I've heard multiple accounts. I mean, one guy who really took it to way beyond I think what you do in public. But when I've seen some other guys talk about it, they bought 2 Ed Browns and they had a hard time getting them. Like the extractors were sticking out, on the back end of the slide, where you could obviously see that they weren't fitted. They weren't what side units are melted in or flush, but it was a functioning gun, but still at $2,800. And they were like, yeah, I'd like it to be aesthetically pleasing as well for that kind of money. And he had to fight Ed Brown a little bit to get him to do it.
But the static is not the problem, but how the gun works is the problem, because we have every time when we are buying the gun, we have to get the permission, and it's not like buying one iMac and looking at this iMac is trash and buy something else, because we cannot it's not like buying something from the shelf and then resell. So when I'm buying quality gun, I want it be the quality, because it's I'm willing to spend some more money to get right on that gun which is working than the buying something which I have to spend a lot of money to do it, or because
you got to remember something. I have had Beretta representatives and Smith & Wesson representatives that I trust and have no reason to argue with me, that I've talked to about their 1911s versus, or excuse me, SIG and Smith & Wesson, that I've talked to about their 1911s versus custom-made 1911s, and we all discussed the same thing about the machinery has made the big difference. But you also have to remember, these custom shops like Ed Brown, Les Baer, they have more returns per gun than Smith & Wesson, and they do. Because when you are doing something by hand, you do have the option of making it a little bit better, but then you also have a much higher chance of them missing something, like an extractor not being filed properly, an ejector not.
But they will, if you are buying custom gun from big manufacturer, they will repair. They will doing it okay. But if I'm
sure they got good warranties.
If I'm buying cheap Chinese gun.
Well, Nighthawk has a really good reputation.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with cheap Chinese guns, man.
But like custom 11s, Nighthawk has a really good reputation, having a really great customer service with their the people that buy their guns. From what I understand, I've never heard anybody dogging a Nighthawk, even if they had an issue with it. That they took care of them right away, and the customer's happy.
No, and that's part of it. It's like if you buy It's like if you go out to the store, if you go out and buy a Ford F-150 off the lot, chances are you're going to drive that thing for 50,000 miles and never have a problem with it. If you go to a custom builder and say, hey, I want a monster truck, you're going to be taking it back to the shop probably every other week for at least the first several months you own it before it gets all the bugs worked out. And a lot of times that translates over into high-end custom guns too. They miss something or they forget something or they do something not quite right. Or and when you're custom building a gun, that happens more than if it's a production gun.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that. But a different analogy is when I used to build custom computers for gaming computers, and you have the run-of-the-mill computers that people buy and take home, Joe Schmo, and then you have semi, when they're gamers. You got the guy who could drop 5,000. I built $6,000 gaming PCs, and then they look at you, they come back to say, hey man, this is this problem. And I'm like, okay, and they're like, well, I shouldn't have this problem. $6,000. I go, no, it should. Nobody builds $6,000 computers. There's no benchmark for your computer. You're the guinea pig, unfortunately, because nobody can afford $2,000 in video cards alone, and fucking 1,000 in RAM, and God knows, and all this other shit they threw in there. There's no benchmark to reference this. You're the one percenter that I have to work with, and they look at you like, what? Yeah, they didn't tell you that when you did all the research on Tom's Hardware, trying to buy a gaming computer. But that's the way it is, unfortunately. But we take care of them by, we'll take care of it, we'll fix it, we'll work it out for you. And that was that.
No, my first PC was $5,000. It was like an IBM 2 or something.
But that was a calculator, Bob.
No, it was a real PC. It was one of the earlier ones. It was when you could first get on the internet.
It was the size of a house.
No, it was like the size of a suitcase. And
okay. But back to the guns. Cheapest 911 is Norinco here, and it costs about 300.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but I need to do a lot of paperwork and spend some money from the government and do hell of it's when you are buying a gun, it takes a lot of effort. So if I'm buying a 300 euros Norinco,
so Mika, it's easier for you to get a rifle.
It takes.
I'm not understanding the difference here. Are we talking about, is it better for him to buy a $300 piece of junk or a good 1911, or is it better to buy a high-end production 1911 or a custom 1911?
This conversation initially started with.
I want to buy a 1911 with sporks.
A what? A 1911? Did you say with forks? What was that?
Sporks.
Sporks.
That works. No, our initial conversation started with him looking at us.
Norinco will work for you. They do work.
I don't know about this so you can catch on here.
They're just real ugly.
The initial conversation started with he's looking at an STI between the Spartan, that's the Philippine-made one. The parts are imported here and they're assembled, and versus the Trojan, which is one built there in George West altogether at STI.
Yes, and those cost here about 800 and 1,300 euros. Spartan is 800 euros and Trojan is 1,300 euros.
Ooh, that's a lot. What's a Brown and High Power worth?
I don't know. I don't care.
That's the right answer.
Well said.
Yes, but the cheapest Chinese Norinco is 300. 300. If you are looking 300 or 800 or 1,300.
Yeah, I'd go for $800 one. If it's you got to do all that paperwork.
Yes, but that's the cost of the gun. So then there is paperwork and etc. So I want to buy a good quality gun which I can go with that to range and save myself a bit because I'm bad sure.
Yeah.
But I wanted the gun works. I want gun works. That the problem is that I am the problem, not the gun.
Mm.
Well, I think then you just got to buy a decent gun with a decent reputation from a respected manufacturer, and you'll be set. Because most all of them work. There's hardly anything nowadays that's junk.
Yep.
There's the Jennings and the Ravens and et cetera are things of the past pretty much as far as modern machining goes. So there's a few holdouts, but not many. I mean,
Mm-hmm. No, Yankee's got a good point there. I mean, you know, just go for a good quality middle of the road
Yes.
gun. You know.
Yes, but there is so limited.
I don't understand what you mean by limited on that, but
Well, it might be limited to what he can get in
you can
Finland.
get there, yeah.
Yes.
Which grips do you like better? Get that one.
I'm putting something in turn. My buddy bought this gun. He showed it to me today. He got this gun for like $9.15, delivered FFL.
And I would say my Sig Sauer 1911 is as good as any 1911 I've ever owned, and I have owned like Les Bears, etc. But
2 years ago, I shot about over than 500 rounds with Springfield Armory's 9mm 11, and without cleaning it, and it worked
Springfield's great.
okay. But that gun is sold.
For what you spend for them, Springfield 1911s, I had all three. I had the, what do you call them, the 3-inch, the 4-inch, and the 5-inch. They have special names. They don't call them like officer or commander. They call them something different. But I had all three of those, and they were all nice. Every single one of them worked great. I mean, they were not the most refined finishing-wise. Like if you're the kind of guy that's going to turn your brushed finish on the side of your slide to the light and see if you see any wavers or any what they call it, circling in the light, how the light reflects off the steel. If you're the kind of guy that's going to do that, then Springfield Armory is probably not for you because they're not the most finely finished and polished guns. But as
Oh
far as
no.
built just
I'm looking that the gun is working, and
Oh,
that
they work great.
Springfield Armory was working okay. But there was only problem was that it was I had to borrow that gun because I didn't have any permission to own a gun, and it was kind of hybrid. The owner has 9mm and 45, and the lower part of that gun was from the 45, and upper was from 9mm. So I don't know why, but the gun was working okay, and I shot more than 500 rounds, even cleaning that.
Well, I can't say anything bad about Springfield Armory's 1911s off the shelf. They work just fine. They're not the most finished gun in the world, not the most polished gun in the world. Got few little sharp edges on them. The reflective surfaces aren't finely finished, but as far as function, every one of them I've owned has functioned perfectly.
Anybody heard of Dominion Arms?
No.
No, they got these 45s here. We can get. They're cheap. You know.
But
Yeah, they
like
look
someone
cheap.
said in the chat just now, if you're looking for a 1911, the best one you can buy is a SIG P220.
What? Six? What? Six?
P220. He's being a little bit facetious, but he's kind of right.
It's their, I mean, initially that was like their SIG's 45 that has a single stack 8-round magazine, very accurate gun. Laredo Police Department used to carry that.
Is there 9mm version?
The 220 is a 45. Now they make it in a wide, high capacity, what do you want to call it, regular capacity, whatever, big PC, whatever. But they make it in a thicker grip now. It has a wider mag now.
Yeah, well, I like my Browning hot power.
Bury me with my gun. There you go, Bob. There's your 9. There's your fucking.
You gonna Cerakote this Canadian flag on it?
Hell no, I'm not going to touch this. It's too pretty. I'm just polish it and shoot it and polish
Just
it
do one side.
till all the finish wears off it. Yeah, I love these guns, man. Well, I just got to find, like I say, another 9mm that's cheap. You know, something like that Dominion Arms, but 9mm or something.
We're going to send my ACOG. Money from my ACOG.
Yeah. Ooh, they got a chrome one too. Got a chrome 45 ACP. Where's Chris? He'd love that.
They don't have any Smith & Wessons up there?
Oh
For
yeah,
you?
yeah. But I mean, they're Smith & Wessons. Got CZ75. Ooh.
That's another, definitely. I mean, what's like, I want a SIG 220, classic 220 with a single stack for the collection down the road too. You still got one, Yankee?
Oh, he's probably eating a watermelon or something.
Yeah, he went to go fetch. He went to go fetch one.
He might fetch himself some watermelon.
I think they're out of season now.
Wouldn't matter to him. He'll import them.
I hope that he comes back soon because I have one question for Yankee.
Really, is it one that's going to stump him? Because those are really funny. Because then his face goes all weird.
Well, we can't see his face. So.
Well, sometimes you can. Especially if he's eating
Maybe
watermelon,
fine.
he tends to show his face. And he's got something about he likes to eat on TV. or something.
Bob, when you are driving next spring into the south, you can visit Yankee
Oh, I could. Yeah. Every time-
because he's on your road.
Not really.
You're going to west
Yeah.
side.
I'd have to drive through 2 provinces first to get to where I could go down into his state. And yeah,
Oregon.
That's a long frickin' ways. It's halfway across this country.
But that will be worth of.
Oh, I don't know. Like, but
Just get one of these, Bob.
Bought a steak, didn't he? Well, he
22.
could buy me a steak then. Hey, how about a 9mm revolver?
I just was watching that fucking AK video, that cop getting shot. Man, she dumped the mag after he was already down. He was on the ground, like bent over. She's all fucking still dumped, like, and there are 8 rounds in him. Wow.
Linker didn't happen.
It's in there. Maybe you came.
No, I joined after his post. My last post was Edge and his Imager link. There we go. Thanks.
Sorry. I just realized.
I showed you that revolver. You said it was ugly and no way you're going to get it.
What? That revolver? No, did
Yep.
you?
Yeah. By the way, just a quick question for the 2 Americans that are still in here. You have a good Thanksgiving?
It was, I mean,
I ate a lot of food.
yeah, I ate a lot of food. One thing I didn't like is my family too. My wife and several people are like, "Well, we're gonna go shopping right now, like at fucking 4 o'clock." I'm like, "This is a day. I mean, I'm fine. It's one of those days where you don't do a whole lot, but you spend with your family where you just kind of eat, lay down, eat, lay down, eat, lay down. You know, but you do it till like 8 o'clock, then you finally go home or whatever." And no, they were just like, "Oh, we're running off. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock. We're gonna head out." I'm like, "Oh, man, I guess that's gone." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna go back to the house. I went back to the house around 5 o'clock. Take this beer." Yeah, no, I just came here, fucking started and just trying to see what the hell's going on because I was bored. But that's one thing that kind of pissed me off because of the whole situation where they're like, they can't fill their bank accounts quick enough. These fucking companies or corporations that are like, well, we have to have you know, come in. You know, it's stupid because I mean, Black Friday is Black Friday. They still, I mean, the whole crashing out about and waking up at 2 in the morning to go out shopping. Fine, I was okay with that, but Shit's getting old. Where to keep on? I mean, when are you gonna have a Black Monday now? So I can just, all right, just hit it. Started on Monday. I know a lot of online companies started their
They're
deals
starting
on
to go all
Monday.
weekend now, eh? Like some of these stores are starting to go, oh, we'll keep the sale on until Monday.
Oh, that's what they were saying about the sales I was seeing when I went up to Academy today. They were gonna have them till Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
As far not the guns, because the guns are obviously gone, but the other stuff. I bought my son a set of Walker ears, range ears,
Oh yeah,
muffs with
electronic ones?
electronic ones. It came with a package. It's usually $80 deal. I got it for $39. It was half off.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Got him that for Christmas, and then some T-shirts and shit they had there, knickknacks. And then I bought some ammo cans. They had them 50% off too.
Hmm.
So they were $10.
That's all right.
They had the 9mm for Winchester white box for $23.99 for a 100 pack.
Oh, that's a good price.
Yeah, I did pick up one. I wanted to pick up more, but I picked up one of those and then some 40.
Yeah, I'm going to say that's 50 cents cheaper than I can get it here normally, so it's not a good deal.
I would have bought more. I mean, thinking about it, if I could have put it on the card, but I'm expecting to have to put some more on the card, so I was like, nah, I would have probably bought $100 worth of ammo, at least about 4 of them.
Well, I got 50 round Barnall 115 grain full metal jackets for $14.50 for a box of 50.
How much that's for the round?
Per round?
Yes.
Let me see.
Because we can buy a bulk.
Mm-hmm. Well, these are bulk. This was for 1,000 rounds. Like I bought 1,000 rounds and it cost me $290. So whatever that is, it's 29 cents a round. 29 cents a round.
30.
Is that right?
20.
9mm.
Yeah.
Yes, Bob, 29 cents a round.
It's a little overpriced.
Well, not for Canada though. I mean, everything always costs more here. Our dollar's now in the dump. Fuck.
Our 9mm just came down to around $225 for 1,000.
Oh, that's good.
Wait till you get to America and then buy it in bulk.
That's the thing too, is if I actually did immigrate, I would have to fucking, I don't know, I'd have to probably carry all that myself, all my ammo and shit. That would be a fun border crossing.
So what was the price of 9mm?
At 29 cents a round, and that's the best I could get it for in Canada.
Yes, at Canada, but at the States?
24 cents, they're saying?
24, 25 cents in that range, yeah.
Okay.
Going off of at least my local prices, it's $24.49 for 100 rounds of Winchester white box.
Yeah, so seeing our dollar's only worth 84 cents, I'm paying about the same price as Quark in American money. Somehow, I don't know.
Yes.
My dollar's worth less, so
Yes,
I have to pay more.
But here it's about 20 cents. But I have to calculate. But what that's.
Yeah.
But
nice.
I think that we are paying more.
Yeah.
How many euros are there in a dollar now? Are you euros there?
Yes.
They used to be.
It used to be about $1.50 per euro.
I know in pounds it's like 240.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It was. And the pounds have now matched
Yeah,
up.
the pound's actually way down right now.
Is it?
It's about the same. It's about $1.50, $1.75, I think, per pound.
Yeah, because I remember the last time I went over, it was like, your dollars, your dollars takes 2.5 of them to make 1 pound, and I'm like, what's crap?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the British never went with the euro. That was kind of weird.
It wasn't weird. It was smart.
Apparently, yeah, but at the
I
time,
pay 20 cents a round when I buy the Federal aluminum.
Oh yeah.
So
if you are buying a bulk, bulk 9 millimeters is about 20 cents, and it's 25 euro cents.
Yeah. All right,
0.25.
But I remember, yeah, the euro was beating up on the dollar, and it's in particular the what's the English currency? The quid, or was it the pound? Yeah, the pound, and it was beating up pretty bad. But I understand it's not that far off anymore. Because people are talking about the dollar taking the shit, but it's held its own. I mean, that's what Glenn Beck and a lot of people.
The dollar's doing good. The American dollar's doing pretty well, considering.
I mean, the dollar. There's something about the economics. The dollar plunges. Good luck with the rest of the fucking economy. Look what's happening to Greece, Spain, and
Oh yeah.
it's really having a hard time right now.
In Canada, we get 30 million people, man, compared to your 300 million.
Canada doesn't count. Got that? I mean, but shit. I mean, I swear to God, I haven't got because I don't get paid cash unless customers pay me. For my independent business I have. But I get paid in hundreds every now and then. Not a new 100. I don't want to get into that, but that's my business. The new $100 bills are pretty. They look like Canadian money, man. The first time I got one, they look like fucking Canuck money, dude. It's not as pretty or ornate as Canadian money. It's still made of paper, or it's still made of thread, I guess.
Yeah, but their Canadian money's got Scott Thompson on it.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was Tommy Douglas as the guy.
Yeah, Scott Thompson. I'm pretty sure that's Scott Thompson in drag on the Canadian money.
I'll send Ed some of our good Canadian Tire money, and he can try to pass that off somewhere.
Yeah. Take a Canadian nickel.
I actually heard of Canadians passing off Canadian Tire money as Canadian money overseas, and of course the people they give it to get pretty upset later when they find out it's fucking a
They get thrown in a Chinese prison.
You know what pisses me off is when I get Canadian change.
No, dude. We actually see it down here every now and then. You clear a till, and then you got like 3 or 4 Canadian pennies. Or they're not pennies. They're the V. They're not pennies.
Nickels with the beaver.
Quarters. They all look.
Yeah, and they're nickels, and they look like pennies. American pennies. If you don't really pay attention to them.
What?
You're trying to get a gumball. It's your
American
last
pennies.
quarter.
Our nickels are like bigger than dimes.
I don't know. I've seen them in tills, or at least I could be. But I've seen them. They have a different design, but I've seen them many times passed off as pennies. Which
They have a beaver on them.
And they're silver, and they look like a nickel.
Yeah, and they have a beaver on them. So yeah.
I get those about 2 or 3 times a year. I'll get a Canadian nickel or a Canadian quarter.
I got them up on the shelf. I got sitting up on the shelf up next to my bed. The other day I got money and I got a bunch of change back, or bought something at Fred Meyer's, got a bunch of change back. Went to pull my money out of my pocket last night, and I thought it was going to be about 75 cents. And one of them was a Susan B. Anthony dollar.
Oh really?
Yeah, dude. It's funny. Those Susan B. Anthony's. I remember one of my best friends when we were kids. He went and ripped off like his mom's jar where she had all these coins saved up. He's like, yeah, I got like at least $10 in quarters. So we go to the arcade and we're there like fucking using these quarters. And then he was the one who's like, yeah, man, I got money. Don't worry about it. I got it covered. He gets back, and like 2 days later, she finds out those are all Susan B. Anthony's that he dumped in the arcade. She was pissed. Like 20, like at least about $40, something like that. Yeah, he ended up ripping off. Those old coin machines. Those old coin machines would take them.
Well, any dime in Canada that's older than 1967 is pure silver, eh? So it's worth like $2 or something, or $1.
Anybody get any good deals today?
Late to the chat, but I got some 100-pack of Winchester white box 9mm for $23.99 at Academy, and then they had the ammo cans, the 50 cal ammo cans for $10, brand new, unissued. And I also picked up some I don't know if you've ever seen them before. If you have a Glock 23. You're familiar with the PDX-1 ammunition, right? From Winchester.
Yeah.
Well, they have it in white boxes where it's a 50-pack for the same price, but it doesn't have that nickel casing on it on the cartridges.
Right.
all just brass, and it's like FBI surplus from understanding the overrun of it. They had those, they had a shitload of them, and they were $21.99. I haven't seen that in a while. I used to see them at Walmart, so I picked up 2 boxes of that. Because the same shit as the PDX one, it just doesn't have the
147 grain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I had them before.
Yeah, so I picked up 2 more boxes of that, and I was happy to see it, you know. So, but I mean, more than anything, the ammo cans hit 50% off, and that white box, $23.99 was a good deal for 9mm.
I think they were actually the first hollow points I bought for 9mm. Way back in the day at Walmart.
Yep, I saw some of that NATO white box ammo too from Winchester.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people buying those Glocks, those I think for stocking stuffers or whatever, you know, those Glocks or something like what they were $259, I think that's what they're selling for basically like Glock 26 ripoff with the little has a little Picatinny around the front. I can't.
The Taurus.
Yeah, Taurus. I don't think you could ever you'd ruin the balance of the gun on a Glock 26 with the light. And trying to find a holster for that.
Yeah, you'd have to get it custom.
Oh yeah, here you go.
That's one thing about selling a carry gun like that, even with that rail, is trying to find a holster because Taurus is unless you got somebody local, they can do it for you. You can just drop the gun off. I have that with an inside the waistband, but he doesn't make inside the waistband holsters with lights. Because that takes away from the old trigger guard snap to now it's all about the light. That's where all the retention comes from after that.
So Bob, I see in your lower third you're now a High Point owner and proud of it.
I am.
That's
When I say High Point, I said high power, didn't I?
Lower third. What is this? 2013, Bob?
High power, not point. Dan over here. Fucking had me going there for a minute.
Talk about
Wow, I know the gun that you actually need to buy. You need to buy the Canic. Is that I call it the Canic?
The Canic.
I don't know if we can even get them up here.
You can get them, or you can get some kind of CZ.
I mean, I was going to say, if you can get guns from China, I don't know why you can't get guns from Turkey.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe, but I don't know. Are they going to be cheap? Because see, look at this. This would be the first AR I'd buy if I was going to buy an AR. This is what I'd buy because it's got the short barrel I like.
Let me see.
And it's cheap. Chrome line barrel.
DA. Bob, you know that they got
Dominion Arms.
You know they got Colt trade-in, Canadian trade-ins.
Really?
Can you guys buy those police trade-ins?
Oh, I don't know.
Because we got them down here, and they're always like, well, sometimes we get the Colt LE 6920 Canadian AR-15 trade-ins.
Really?
Yep.
I've never seen them here. Probably because they're restricted.
$4.99, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, see, probably because they're restricted, the cops don't. At one point, you could, like when they switched from their 45 Smith & Wesson revolvers, those all just went onto the market, and I know tons of people who own them, eh? They're, I think, just a 45 Colt, and but in Smith & Wesson, double action, basic Model 10, but in 45. So yeah, it's those all became available, but then lately the RCMP have gotten so anti-gun. They don't want any civilian to own a gun. They're the ones who get to say whether we can carry or not. We're allowed to apply. We have the right to apply to carry a handgun. But they're the ones who say yes or no, and they've never said yes to anyone.
That's the problem. When you have a police outfit, it's called the Royal Canadian instead of like the FBI or ATF, which is just as bad. But we don't put them on a pedestal.
Yeah, what we used to, because they used to be really good. They were the Dudley Do Rates, honest to God. I had them, I had a couple of RCMP save my life one night, I'd run out of gas on a country road and, was walking back, and if it hadn't been the fact that they have to patrol those roads and stuff and they found me, I would have fucking froze to death.
You wanted to rape you, it's fine.
Oh, hell no. They just gave me a ride to a gas station, filled up a gas can, drove me back to my car, made sure it got started, and I was okay and on my way. And I was great considering I think I'd passed out behind the wheel and,
Blackjack,
slept
you're
until
gonna
the car
look like
ran
a
out of
man.
gas and I sobered up.
You will go to a bunch of red cloth fibers all over your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, our RCMP generally have been pretty decent. It's just, it's not so much the officers as it is the administrators, like the higher ups, are just terrible. Yeah, but most of the regular, because see, the RCMP aren't like regular cops. I mean, they're most of the time they're like one or two cops in some small northern community, or there might be 10 of them, and they're policing a small country community. So they basically become part of the community.
They're kind of like state police.
Yeah, I think kind of like state police. Although in like some cities are policed by the RCMP because they've got a deal with them. They kind of rent them or something. But yeah, they get trained not far. They get trained in Yorkton, which is a couple 100 kilometers from where I live. So I've actually seen them, 40 or 50 of these recruits jogging along a road.
So anybody else either buy something or plan on buying something in the next, over the weekend or beginning of next week?
No,
barrels, slides. Lone Wolf is doing a thing right now. If you buy one of their stainless slides, you get a free barrel. The barrels are like $110 to $129, so not a bad deal.
Next time my list is at that front site, or front night site. There we go. So I'm hoping that goes on sale. Or Andromeda, Adorama, or whatever it is, has a good sale on it.
What kind of site is it?
Talk about black
Mepro Light.
All right. So what are you going to do with the rear? Just leave them white dots, and then have a...
Yeah, leave them white dots. It's too difficult to change them, and I don't have the spare cash to buy the rears and then have the...
You should try.
ugly
You
gun.
should try when you're shooting.
It's a fucking hideous gun, though.
Shut up, Bob.
I mean, I can't not say it. It's like looking at a fucking.
All right,
58
the
XL
high
or
point.
something,
I mean, your high power is not much better. To look
Oh
at.
please, high power is gorgeous. It's
Not
beautiful
yours.
design, and it's shiny and smooth and beautiful.
So's your pecker ones I bought, but they got wrinkly and nasty too.
Clunky looking. It looks like something was printed out by a robot. For a robot.
It's the gun of the future.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Now,
Pure
I
function.
I was
will
gonna
let you
tell
guys know
Clark,
when I
to
go.
try putting some electric tape over the rear sight to see if you like it blacked out. Once you get that front Mepro sight on.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a
I like
target.
the little white dots on the sights. They're actually really good for lining up.
You got
Yeah,
them.
right
in
now
your
it's
high-
like-
your
Oh
high
yeah, the
power.
Browning's got them. Yeah.
It's like $42 right now for the
Completely
front
adjusted
sight.
sight, of course, because
$42 for what right now?
drift.
The Mepro Light front sight.
Oh, just the front.
Yes, I don't have the tools to take off the rear myself, and I don't want to pay my gunsmith $65 for the hour.
What kind of
Oh, that's an economy gun then. It costs $65 to change the sight on it.
what
On
kind
the
of
rear sight,
what kind
plus the
Excuse
sight.
me, just for labor.
what
just
kind
for
of
labor.
tools do you need to change the rear sight?
Because it's
Dovetail.
got knots on it, and he doesn't like them.
So in
It
other words, you
doesn't-
need a brass punch and a hammer.
I was gonna tell you because, dude, I mean, even the local gunsmiths here at this one shop, I had my Glock 26. The sights were $90, and he charged me $30 to install them because they're making a profit, obviously a bigger profit off the sights than so they had no dealers.
They insist on paying their gunsmiths probably.
On the PPQ and the P99, you can just like kind of use a screwdriver or something and pop the rear sight off.
Oh, the
Can you do
PPQ
that with this?
just comes right
Go to
off.
Home Depot,
Yeah.
you can get an illegal to do it for a little cheaper.
Yeah, these take these take the PPS sights. They take the PPS sights. Front sight comes off really easy. It's just held in by a screw.
The PPQ sight is like the easiest sight I've ever changed. You basically hold down this button and then slide them off.
Yeah.
So I have to go out and get a brass punch then if I want to do the rear. Cool.
That'll break you.
Or have a gunsmith do it. Sometimes those rear sights are like impossible to get at.
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Even my Glock 26 still doesn't shoot. I'm not the best shot either, but it is a little off to the left. I still have to get that shit. Take it back to that guy, but I have the ability to take it back to him because I paid him to put him on.
And I want to defend Bob here. Yes, it is an ugly gun. I don't care if the gun looks good or not, as long as it shoots and I have something I can carry.
Alright, well, I'm going to go set up my chat, and I'll let you know when it's ready to...
Nobody's going to go to it.
No, we're all staying here, Edge.
We're all staying here.
Well, you can have fun there.
Bob, I don't understand why you're laughing when your gun always has to stay home.
I actually, now I got my permit, I can take it to any gun range anywhere in Saskatchewan, and I can take it to any border crossing.
Without permission.
Without having to get a permit or anything. Yeah.
It's a big boy
But it's
now.
got to be unloaded and in a lock case, correct?
Yes, it
He can't
does.
use the gun. He can just take it with
There
him.
you go.
Carry it to a gun range. That's about it, yeah.
With a pin 10-round magazine.
Yeah.
How
No, I
many-
only have 3 mags.
How many mags you got?
Because
Is it true that you have to wear like an orange vest at all times now that you're a gun owner in Canada?
No,
I've
it's
heard you have to wear an
lime-
orange vest so people notice they can walk in there and say street
It's
front.
lime green.
I
Lime
actually-
green.
I really enjoy using my gun license for ID. It's just a hoot to see some people's faces.
Everybody around town thinks you're the guy that has the license to kill now.
You trying to intimidate people?
No.
He's brandishing his permit. I don't think they should be able to carry their permits. They should be at home with their guns.
It is actually the best ID.
Locked
because
up in the
it
third.
shows that the government not only trusts you to drive cars and stuff like that, they trust you to own firearms. So it means like you are very trustworthy, you know.
Wow,
what's
it must
that?
be awesome to have that honor given to you by your government.
They're overly polite, so they're like, I guess you can have
Remember
some
back when
guns.
we used to ask the government if we could carry around fire. Oh wait, we never did that.
No, actually, I was already saying we have the right to apply for a carry permit, but the RCMP refuses to issue one to anyone except people like Justin Trudeau's bodyguards and stuff like that.
Well, you gotta go down there and yell at them. Don't be so polite.
Oh no, you don't want to yell at people. It's not nice.
Yeah, well then you get what you deserve.
Yeah.
So I opened up a group on Gun Channel's for Cyber Monday deals. Are there any Cyber Monday deals out there?
I'll tell you
I
what,
haven't seen it.
Canadians write letters, and that's way more effective than yelling.
Yeah, go write a letter then.
They'll be making that high power into a plow shear frying
Oh hell
pan
no,
or some
man! This
shit.
is my baby. This is going to getting buried with me.
Nah.
You and that High Point gonna go someplace special.
Fuck you, Dano. It looks nothing like a high point. It's pretty.
Yeah, that and your high tower.
Who the hell's Hightower?
TV or a movie down here.
Oh, that's at Police Academy.
In a couple of years, it'll come out in the movie theaters by you.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. That's got the guy who does the sound effects too. He's hilarious.
According to what people are saying, people are getting
Then why is
screwed
that
on
gun
that
economical if you can't do anything to it?
Why would you want what?
You talking to me?
Yeah, talking to you.
Very economical. You
Reasons
can change the
blocks are
front. I
good.
mean, I've never changed rear sights on a gun, so I don't know how difficult or easy it's going to be to get them out. I mean, everything I've read is they're extremely tight in there. So
I bet if you threw it in the oven for a while, it would soften up the plastic, and you could probably just slide it right out.
That would work.
It's a metal
Just melt them
frame,
off.
or it's a metal slide bomb.
But
Is
is
it
it
metal
plastic sight?
sight?
I think they're plastic yet, but I don't want to ruin them.
Why not? If you turn the oven up high enough, it'll just like ooze out of the sight.
Hey Bob, stick your high power in the oven.
Oh, fuck, I wouldn't. It wouldn't hurt it. It's
What
a high
about the
power.
grips?
It's a perfect gun.
Bubble
So,
gum.
It's
Bakelite-
steel,
When he,
baby.
Bakelite
when he brings it
grips.
to Arizona, it's going to be like putting it out.
Yeah, that's gonna be hard to drop this thing. Actually, now the more I think about it.
Quark, what was the reason bought the PPX before PPQ? Price difference or why on earth?
He's a cheap
Big price difference. Yeah, it's entry level Walther.
How much is the price difference?
About $300.
300.
Yeah, I paid $1,000 for mine, so
Yeah, for the at least I'm going off local prices for the PPQ. They're high fives here. High fives to low sixes, and this was $280.
Okay, $300 is much.
But that 280 was a sale price. That's not a normal price.
No,
Yeah,
it's
they're
not
usually
normal price.
$400.
Exactly.
99.
well, if they're a good gun and they function every time you pull the trigger, all right. Doesn't matter how ugly it is, right? It's like Yankees.
but
It's like
Well,
Yankees.
that's
like a high power.
discount to half price.
Big thing. It's like his Rhino revolver or whatever. That fucking ugly, ugly revolver.
Okay, so you just described a Glock. It works every time.
Yeah,
And it's ugly.
yeah. I mean, my Browning works every time, and it's pretty, and it's smooth, and it's beautiful.
Oh.
It worked all 200 times that you shot it.
So far, I'll bet you I'll have to replace the barrel on this thing.
Did you try mag dumps?
Maybe we're to make a blow-up dowel of them. Make a lot of money in Canada, I think.
No, no. There's very few people who are.
They don't make it a 22 caliber for Bob.
Yeah, most people when I start going on about my high power engine look the other way and stop listening.
Yep.
Well, we tried to, but you
Really?
because you're still
Interesting phenomenon.
We're kind of stuck next to you.
Yeah, I know. I can't help it.
Just imagine now you're getting it from all around the world.
I know. It's really great, man. All we need is like Chris to chime in here with his, Bob, I hate you. I'm going to get you.
Boring people on multiple continents at once.
There you go.
Bob, that was so racist and such a horrible.
Boringness spans the Atlantic.
Yeah, it was a horrible accent.
Actually, it kind of was a really bad impression. I can't do impressions. I really can't. Except for
I
I'm
really
not good at that impression. Never mind. It used to be really funny when I was a kid. All my uncles and my dad would always get me to do it. And my uncles would always laugh and thought it was so funny.
Hey,
Now I'm
Bob,
thinking that's probably not a good impression.
did you watch my video of my horribly, horribly bad German accent?
Nope.
Oh, no, I haven't.
You
Must have
did
missed
it?
There's some way you could describe the video of your accent?
You can
No.
just describe it, yeah.
You can just do the accent now.
Yeah, you
No,
can
I
do that
can't.
now.
You got to go through it. No,
That
I'm
seems
learning.
overly complicated.
Let's come up with a sentence for Quark to say in German accent. Go ahead, Bob.
Why won't you sign
Hitler invented the 9mm bullet.
Because you broke of all my fingers.
All right,
There you go, Bob.
Cheech and Chong. I'm channeling Cheech and Chong now, okay?
you lose.
It really was Cheech
I
and
put the
Chong.
link in just for Bob, but anybody
I don't
else
know if
can.
you're allowed to do that. You can do that with the McKenzie brothers.
Oh, no, I mean, Tommy Chong's Canadian, man.
No way.
Yeah.
Is he?
I think he is.
Yeah, he's from British
Damn
Columbia.
it, but we got Ray Donchon.
He's half. Well, no, that's his daughter, so she's
Well,
Canadian.
she's American, so in your face.
Sorry, she's American, so we're keeping her. So, but
It's offspring.
Yeah, well, you can actually keep her. She used to look hot, but now she's old.
I haven't seen her in a while.
well, we're giving you the old version. We're keeping the young version on video.
Yeah. Well, as long as I get.
Yeah, he's on like Dances with the Stars now. You can keep him.
All right, so we're all broke, but what would you have bought if you had some kind of, like if you had Bob's credit card and you were going to buy something with today's sales?
Yeah, my credit card's prepaid, man, so it ain't that got much.
All right, DB's credit card then.
Yankees credit card.
I saw that my shop, my local shop, still has over 100 Glock 17Ls, and they had them for $519.
How do they have 100
They have
17Ls?
They still have 100 of them. That's how many they listed on their Facebook.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
What is a Glock 17L?
The very longest Glock.
Longer barrel.
Oh, okay. Ooh, how long's the barrel?
Really long.
About 100 yards long. It's very long.
What, you're supposed to say, 5 inches or 6 inches, something like that. Not
It's the longest one you've ever seen. It's the longest barrel Glock they make.
No.
Too long for competition. It's
It's like
so long that you're so close to the target, it's literally cheating.
you can poke. You can poke the target.
Never mind then. Is it 9mm?
It's
Probably not.
poking the device.
Yes. Bob,
It is
it's
9?
9mm. Yes.
See,
It's a
something like that I
17,
could own
so-
probably. I actually been thinking for my cheap second
let me get my phone.
backup gun, a Glock might be okay, because I'm just going to throw it in the corner and leave it there until I need it.
Bob, have you ever been banned from a chat?
It's like whatever
Yeah, a
the
couple
topic is, it turns about how Bob could buy it in Canada.
For
No.
cheaper.
I can buy
Yeah.
Glocks. Oh, it wouldn't be cheaper though. I mean, I mean that's true. I'll always pay more money for shit than you guys will, just the way it works. Yeah, I'll live with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this: if I had DB's credit card, I'd take it easy on him and just get the P320.
All right, so what sucked for everybody in Pennsylvania that tried to buy a gun today was our version of Nix, which is called Pix, was down for
Oh,
about
really?
5 hours. Yeah, that's
Picks kicked you in the dicks.
Yep.
So that's every time you guys buy a handgun, you got to get checked out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I said this state you do.
Wow.
But we get to carry ours wherever we want.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, that's
Not
great.
wherever we want.
I just think it would really suck to have to every time I'm going to buy.
Well,
a handgun, have to
in,
do
in
it.
Georgia they don't. They just have to show their carry permit.
Yep. And Wisconsin, you got to
See,
still
that
go
would
through the
be
background check,
you know?
the WICs.
If you got a carry permit, why in the fuck are they talking to you? Because as soon as you do any crime, they're going to take your carry permit away, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's what pisses me off about the Wisconsin.
That's what our licenses work like. You know, I mean, I'm on constant. If I commit any kind of violent crime, they're going to come and say, okay, where's your guns? Because you have a gun license. We know you have these handguns. You know, show us your gun safe. Show us your guns, and they're going to take them. And you know, you might get them back if it turns out the charge is false or something like that. But
Go for massacre.
Why do we keep letting it fall back to Bob describing his horrible, 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 horrible gun laws and him
you
thinking
guys
that they're awesome?
I'm gonna just turn my mic off and shut up for a while. So.
I'm going to say this, Bob. You shouldn't own any guns, period, just because of the Great Gopher Massacre.
Hey, what's up, guys? What are we talking about?
They were actually $549. Sorry.
Please talk about anything. Anything.
They still had 100 in stock. 17 Ls.
Any
Probably have them for a while.
Any of y'all shops or whatever did any like Black Friday deals with guns or anything? Anybody pick anything up?
No.
Gun related?
No,
We're just talking about what we
Our
would've
shop
picked
had
up.
all guns 10% off, and then if you bought a gun, every accessory you wanted and all the ammo you wanted was 35% off for the 4 hours after you bought the gun.
Wow, that's a hell of a deal, man.
Nice.
It's a pretty good deal, I
That's
guess.
not bad. Yeah, my gun shop wasn't running any specials because they're still in the process of moving over into the new shop.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be open on Black Friday. That's just really dumb. Be a retail
Oh,
shop.
they're open, but I'm just saying they aren't running any sales just because it's.
Yeah, you
I
don't
have
want to do
some.
that. Your competition went to all the work of doing sales and stuff. Then you have to make the customers decide which store to go to. Much easier to just give up.
Well, they're not going to be able to Well, they're really the only independent gun shop in town that's decent. So.
And they should be the ones doing all the fucking sales. They could have made a shit ton of money, man.
Yeah, they're the only class 3 in town.
They definitely could have made a shit ton of money.
I'm making a shit ton of money right now. It's horrible, geez. Saturday when I went in there to finally get my gun, there was one parking spot open.
But I mean, you don't understand how like this Black Friday shopping craze covers all aspects of whatever the word I'm looking for of shit you can buy. You know what I mean? Everybody does it, and it's it's a huge moneymaker because you're discounting prices, but you're not putting them lower than what you paid for them. You know what I mean? So you're still making money. You're selling in such mass quantities. You know what I mean? I was watching.
Well, and it lets you get rid of your 2014 stuff so that you got money again, so you can buy 2015 stuff, even if you don't make the max profit like you're saying.
I think all these brick and mortars and online retailers have more overstock than ever in the past few years.
Yeah.
And that could be why like the sale days are longer than just Black Friday.
Yeah, my excuse me, my local gun shop is also an internet store as well. They're running Cyber Monday stuff.
Well, I think the biggest problem with that is oversaturation of the market. You have a billion companies selling the same exact items, so you're down to just choose with like, okay, I bought from them last time, I'm gonna buy from them again. Because they're all running the same prices. You know what I mean? Unless someone has free shipping or 5% off or something like that.
Yeah, or if they're giving you something like this or that extra, then
right.
Yeah. There's no reason
my other choices for local gun shops are a hole in the wall that are basically right-wing conspiracists.
Where are you talking?
It's a really turn off there when the owner starts spotting up about how the government's buying up all the ammunition. So I've got to mark my ammunition up because I can't get it.
Never mind. Fuck them.
Exactly.
Well, I tried to, Williams. I tried.
Yeah. Otherwise, you got the big box stores. You got Cabela's and Gander Mountain and Mills Fleet Farm. But Mills Fleet Farm, I won't really count as a true gun shop. They sell basically almost everything that's entry level.
I got a range down the street that will sell this box of 9mm. 115 grain. They'll sell it for like $22 to shoot. And I got this for like $12.99 at my range.
Mm-hmm.
And they're so close together that I don't know why anybody still goes to that one.
I was looking for ammo, looking for deals on gun shit. I jumped on Ammo Engine, and they had Tula for like $8 a box. I put it in my cart, went back to Ammo Engine to find some at 40 because that was at 9. And when I refreshed the damn page, all sold out. I was so pissed.
$8 a box. That's why it sold out.
Go fast.
I didn't get none.
Well, see what they have for Cyber Monday here, Dirk. So don't.
Nah, man, I got shit to take care of, man. I got adult bills. I can't. I ain't fucking around, man. I got shit to do. And I just upgraded my fucking cable, which is about to throw like $50 on next bill and shit. Got this new high-speed, high-tech ass cable box now. Unless y'all want to donate to the B. Girk Fund, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
I don't even have cable, Girk, so.
I mean, if you fucking got off your ass and sell some crack, you have a.
I don't want cable. I got everything I need from, over the air. 'Cause I get over the air signals, so I can watch, what I want to watch, and then internet for everything else, and Netflix.
Do your fucking neighbors
cable?
Yeah. Just downhill.
See this grip?
Can you buy those curves yet?
I don't know.
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen anything about
They're
it.
prototypes.
No.
Not even the SHOT Shogun.
It's weird because I see pictures of like two different kinds. I guess I don't know. One of them, the barrel is like finished on the end, like that, and the other, the barrel's like kind of shaved off on one
They just
end.
like took a hacksaw to
curve.
it.
Yeah, to like curve with the frame.
Oh,
or the
that
slide.
could be like a that could be a barrel nut protecting the threads on a threaded barrel version.
Okay, they just do like what EAA
Or I guess it
does
could just be a
with
barrel shroud.
revolvers. Yeah, they could just
Yeah,
do
it
what
look
the EAA does with the
kinda
barrels
fluted.
and just chops them off with the hacksaw.
Yeah, that's what they do.
30s on the.
Was that an extendo on a 1911?
That looks pretty tactical.
I do want to extend up on my 1911. But 30s on everything.
That's how you carry it, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Right in my pants. Boop.
Seems comfortable.
If I'm carrying 9, I always carry a 17 round mag. And I shine up my bullets so they'd be nice and pretty when they fly out. I use split. So my model match. All matchy and shit around here, man.
Yeah.
19 is pocket gun out here.
I'm looking at my future forecast for Monday right now, which would be the first day I could go back and shoot. High temperature they're predicting right now is 5 degrees. I don't think I'm going out Monday, but Tuesday is supposed to be 30, so I think I'll head out Tuesday instead.
You're gonna finally shoot that shitty ass gun?
He has to wait until the temperature is it's not gonna crack.
I'm sorry, but I'll be going out there in the morning, so yeah, when the high temperature is gonna be 5, it'll be below 0 when I'm out there.
Do you have snow? Can you do a
Yeah,
snow
it's-
torture test with it?
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be awesome. First PPX snow torture test on YouTube.
Oh, they'll be snow on the ground. It's not
Just
going.
throw your gun at it. Throw your gun at the ground. Pick it up. It'll run. It's a wall through.
Yeah, and it's not crappy ass. It's just ugly ass there, Girk.
Yeah, man. Just I think you should throw it in the snow and then like shoot it and then let it sit for about a half an hour and then try shoot it.
Bury it in the snow and come back later. You might lose it, forget where you buried it.
Yeah, go on my car and warm my hands up so they're not frostbitten.
Stick a flag where you buried it. Some kid comes and switches the flag.
Yeah, the only good thing is I got a pair of white fleece gloves for free. They're very lightweight, but very skinny. Hopefully, I can actually wear those. Be able to shoot.
I think so. Look at that big trigger guard. It's a winter carry.
Yeah, normally, no. If I'm carrying the gun, I don't wear gloves at all. So.
AG Webs. You there, motherfucker?
Huh.
Oh, you see how hard I'm representing?
Right on. You didn't get mail today?
No, I didn't. I got your message. No, I didn't.
Is that just a carrier?
Yeah, it's a courier. I haven't got plates yet.
I'll just keep sending you patches so that you don't need plates. You just put a shit ton of patches in there.
No, I know,
Be
right?
like dragon skin.
No. Did the Okay, you sent out both? Both packages, or you put it all in one?
Yeah,
All right,
it
cool.
should be there. I thought it'd be there today.
All right. Now, sometimes my mail's shitty out here. Sometimes, man. Sometimes
Well, I know the post office got out against me too, so they probably throw all my shit in the garbage can for a few days.
right. If you send a USPS and it should be here, it'll probably be here tomorrow because they, Saturday we get a bunch of mail. They lazy on Fridays and they just ship everything out. They just put every stuff out mailboxes on Saturdays. I guess so they can get off work early or something. I don't know. But no, like I wanted to make sure I check and make sure the shit went through because I remember last time my shit didn't go through. I wanted to double check first.
Oh yeah, that first one, but that was with stupid Kickstarter and that
Right.
stupid Amazon payment thing where it was dumb. So the
Yeah,
other one is just on PayPal all the time. It works way better.
Right. Yeah, I want to double. I go ahead. I would do money into PayPal. I ain't got no problem. I ain't got no problem spending money. I'm balling on a budget. I got bands. So. Well, man, I gotta liven this fucking chat up. Talk about something.
Edge is starting to his now. Is anybody going to Edges?
I probably head over there. Just
No.
see.
He didn't send me a link, so why should I go over to his?
He's gonna put the fucking link.
It's
He
just
hasn't sent anybody a link yet.
He keeps it exclusive so that it's classy.
Isn't he doing Canadians Gone Wild?
Well, that's what he usually does. He gets it so exclusive that it's only classy to, I don't know, Europeans maybe?
Europeans.
Are you still in here? Do Europeans find that Canadian chat? Really?
T-Webs. Fuck you.
Hey, that was a European fuck.
Yeah, I'll probably go to Edges because, yeah. And the guy got me started on all this fucking stupid, crazy YouTube shit. Him and Sask, whatever.
Nobody's offended, Bob.
Edge got me started. Edge got me started on the chat thing.
I'm supposed to
Some
stop.
who to blame.
I'm gonna
Appreciate
stop this chat when he starts his. So
Yeah, I let everybody go follow me on Instagram.
Oh man, I only just started doing the
I wanna
Twitter thing.
follow
I'm not
Bob.
doing Instagram.
Hey Bob, I wasn't
And then
asking.
unfollow.
Oh, fuck you.
You should open Instagram up. Do that.
You just wish.
Kirk, I looked at your Instagram. All it is junk pics.
What is junk?
Pictures of your junk.
I thought it was all pictures of.
You should motherfucking beat up my first follower, motherfucker. You should have been my first follower then. This is that bitch you like looking at. No, Bob, the other fucking night. It was ridiculous. Oh my god.
What the fuck? What was I talking about? I don't remember.
Talking about myself, as Court called it, the other night, man. I was like, what the
What?
fuck? Never mind, Bob.
Okay. Sometimes your accent gets to me. Is that
Maybe
from
like
Peru? Is that
my
a Peruvian accent, Quark? Or not Quark, fuck. Dirk?
All Americans look the same to you, don't we?
No, actually all Americans don't look the same. I mean,
Just mix
got
me
so
and
many
Quark
accents.
and
There's
Kirk all
so many
together.
different versions of Americans. It's
Such a
confusing.
Canadian racist.
I'm
I'm not racist. I'm just saying there's like a lot of different versions of Americans, and it gets confusing.
There's only one version.
The free, the proud, the Marines.
Well, how come you all talk funny?
Come you talk funny, motherfucker.
Hey, what are you talking about? What are you talking about, eh?
Bob, don't you have another hangout to go to?
Yeah, I should probably go to Edges.
Yeah, you probably should.
You're gonna stop this broadcast.